So I like to think in every single magic kingdom and every single magic woodland that there would be gnomes and fairies of all sorts that would keep starlight and precious gems tucked away. And that's what today's little treat is inspired by. And you can see there's some wires here with which I'm going to use to attach to my branches. And again, at the end of the video, you'll see those all hanging up. And these are so easy to make. And again, using some really cheap ingredients. Just a little bit of information about this set of videos. My name's Jolene, and I, alongside my compadre Lucy, have been running a Facebook group called Mixed Media and Beyond Community for the last 10 or 12 years. And we've decided to relaunch back onto YouTube, mainly due to the differences of opinion we have with Facebook deleting all of our videos. So, this series of videos is some Advent videos, and then after Christmas we have a set of special surprises for you. So do join us over on Facebook. We like to use that as our lounge at the moment. It's a place for people to mingle and share stories and feelings and thoughts, as well as pictures if you do make anything that we make. But let's get on with today. If you want to watch the other two videos where I've made the branches and I've made all the mushrooms so far and hung it with lights ready for the winter season. This is not necessarily a Christmas project, though of course you could use it for Christmas if you want. So we're going to start with some walnut shells, and I've already de-walnutted these. You are going to need, if you want to, I've put little sparkly stars inside these, which are here, but you could also just use a precious bead in them, or in fact you could stick a word in there if you wanted, anything you want. You're going to need some glitter, and I would say you need micro glitter really for this to make it really kind of gem up as if it's geodes as opposed to chunky glitter. I think this is better. Ideally you need some magnetic paint, or not magnetic, metallic paint. And these paints here come from a site which is Marmitey, let's say. Some people like it, some people love it. You know, this is some metallic paints, thick metallic acrylic paints. If you can't get hold of thick acrylic metallic paints, you could use gel matte medium instead, and I'll tell you where to use that. You're going to need some wire. You could use thread. Wire is much easier. You're definitely going to need your glue gun. You will need a little bit of moss to decorate the top. Here's my moss. And you will also need a sharp tool. I'm going to use my awl, which is a tool that I use for bookbinding. But you could use the sharp end of a needle, or you could use a screwdriver. Anything like that would be great. Pair of scissors, glue gun, and a jar with some water. Oh, and most importantly, a little bit of sandpaper. So let's pop those to the top. Oh, and some micro beads. I keep saying oh, and so some little tiny micro beads if you're going to hang something inside your shells. So let's start with the walnuts first, and this is all a really simple process. So because this is so cute and such a fun thing to do, I'm mainly going to have music on today, and just every now and then I'm going to come on and tell you what to do. First step, sand the inside of your walnut shells. Get rid of all of those little papery wafery bits. Here we go. So once you've given them a good sand, tap them on your table, get rid of any sandpapery dust that might be lurking inside. And you don't need to do anything to the edges or to the backs. It's literally just the inside. And now we're going to use our metallic paint and our glitter very quickly. And this is where, if you want to use gel matte medium, you can. This metallic paint is quite a gluey substance anyway. Things will stick to it very easily. And so I'm using this not only as a paint, but also as a glue for the glitter that I'm going to pop in and then just shuffle it all around. If you don't have any glue and you just want to go, if you don't have any paint and you want to go straight for the glitter, then you would just coat the inside of your walnut shells with a thin layer of gel matte medium and then pop your glitter in there as everything else. Now I'm going to have a tray here, which you can see I'm gathering already a fine little mist of glitter. You need the smallest of bits, as you'll see when I go. So I'm going to dry my paintbrush off. Got a little cloth here to the side, and I'm going to choose my glitter so that I can go straight from paint to glitter. So I think we'll go a slightly more red this time. You could go red on top of blue, you could do all sorts. Anyway, I'm going to get that done, press go on the music again, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so now we have 4 more of these little geodes. We have the fiddliest bit of this session, so I would say that all of this at the moment could be probably done by children as much as by adults, and they'd have a really good fun time doing it. This next bit I think is the adult bit, in my opinion. So you need a length of wire, and I'm going to cut 4, and I'm going to do 1 on camera and talk you through it, and then the others I will just do with some music playing. But you need a bit of wire to start off with, and the first thing that I'm going to do is push my wire through my star, so that's attached on. Let me push those out of the way like that, and then this bottom piece of wire I'm going to get a micro bead. Got these little orange ones, they're so tiny, I'm hoping you're going to be able to see. So I'm going to get a micro bead and put that on underneath the star, and then the wire, I don't go back through the micro bead, but I do go back through the star, and the micro bead will act like a little bit of a stopper And what you need to do, you need to end up with a bit of length of wire, like so. So that I've got the bead on the end and next the star. And then I've got this length of wire here. Now you need the top end of that wire to be the right length. Now the next bit will either go really well or it won't. And that is that you take your walnut shell and you need to decide if you're going to hang it from this end or this end. And I'm going to use my bradawl. You might use a screwdriver. Now, if it cracks, don't worry, just don't keep pressing it. Walnut shell is designed in some ways to crack and split. So if it splits a bit, that's fine, because we can just get the wire through the split, and we are going to use a glue gun anyway to kind of hold it in place. But you're ideally looking for a little hole. So let's see what happens to me. Okay, so mine has, can you see? I've got a little crack that's gone along the back there. You can probably see that, which is good, because I wanted you to be able to see if it does happen, that it doesn't matter. And so if it has cracked, in some ways you have an easier job, because now I'm just going to poke that wire down inside that crack and pull the star where I need it to be, like so. And then, just so that that doesn't kind of move up and down, I'm going to get my glue gun and just get a little tiny blob like that on that wire, and that'll seep down through that crack just a little bit and just hold that in place. Okay, so I'm going to do that to all the others. Don't forget, you need a wire. You put the wire down through the star, down through the micro bead, round the right micro bead, back up through the star to create a length of wire with a star dangling on the bottom. Make a little hole in one end or the other of your walnut shell. And then if it cracks, that's absolutely fine. Just thread your wire through it and hold your star in place. So I'm going to do that to these as well. And then we'll come back and put the moss on the top and the little bead on the side, and then we're done. Okay, so once your glue has dried, it's quite possible that you can sort of bend your stars. If they've gone a little bit too far back, you can bend them round and pull them forward a little bit. This one here. Pull it forward a little bit like that, get them into their right place. Just a rule of a little note that I didn't say is that when you push your awl in, that will I mean, mine cracked every single time. I didn't get a perfect hole at once, but it makes no difference at all. You want to sort of spin your awl. Don't just push it in like a dagger. Just spin it gently, 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 gently until you hear the crack, and then take it out, and then you've got your crack ready to go. Okay, so next little bit, just because it's me, I love to have just a singular little gem on the outside. You could put a word on the outside, you could do all sorts, but that's me. So in various different places on my things, I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of glue from my glue gun, and be a little bit careful because obviously this is hot glue, and just put a gem into place. I like to think that if fairies existed, you know, they'd want all sorts of finery around their geode stores. So we're nearly done. The next thing is that I've gathered some moss, again from my garden. Now here is where, if you did have what's called reindeer moss, craft moss, it would be easier because it would be dried, but I've got mine just sitting here on a cloth, just drying away. And by the way, I don't put the gems in exactly the same place on every single one. And again, if you don't have a glue gun, you can find some super glue or something like that. Okay, so we're now ready. Brush everything out of the way, all those, I don't know if any of you find this, but whenever I use a glue gun, I end up with little strings of like spiderweb glue everywhere. So, next thing is to get a little bit of moss, and you really just need a little bit. Now I know when I put the moss on the sticks the other day, I said not to use a glue gun because it would kill the moss off, and also because it doesn't stick very well to the mud. However, I've dried all these out carefully, and it's only going to be a little tiny bit. So again, glue gun, gel matte medium would work, and this kind of hides all of our sins really. So just a little bit on there, like so, and you've given your little geode a little nest. So I'm going to do the rest of these. I'm going to hang them on my branches, and I'll take a video for you, and I'll see you in a couple of days with the next bit. You're going to need some orange peel and some acorns. I'll see you then.